Good morning, East Bay. Let us just remember to breathe in and out throughout the day. Breathing calms down the heartbeat and also makes you less hot. Good morning, East Bay, and welcome to our Sunday service celebration. We are so delighted to have you with us. You could be any other place, but you chose to be here with us, and we are so grateful for that. We are grateful for those who join us online on YouTube as well as on Facebook, and for all of those who share our services with their family, their loved ones, and their friends. We welcome you. We are grateful for you. And in this moment, I would like to just take this sacred moment to welcome the voices of the sounds of joy.
Good morning, East Bay. Welcome.
how many of us know that we haven't seen it all? That we have seen nothing yet? That the best is yet to come? For I know that the best is right now. The best is right here. The best is this moment in this time. And for that, I am just grateful. I am grateful for the God that I know of my understanding. I am grateful that I know that God is here amidst all of us. In every moment, in every possibility, there is God. In every experience, there is God. In every situation, there is God. For there is not a spot where God is not. The best is right here and right now. The best is our board of trustees. The best is our ministers, our senior minister of the East Bay Church of Religious Science. The best is our practitioners who pray and pray and pray. The best is each and every person that walks through this door. For we are living in the best time right now. This is the moment. This is the time. Whatever you want to do, whatever is on your heart, today is the day. Now is the time. And for that, I am grateful. I give thanks, I give thanks, I give thanks for each and every one of us. For I know that we are all working in intention, working together to build the best city, the best state, the best country, and the best universe. And for that, I am just grateful as I release these words and let them be so. And so it is. Oh, the best, the best, the best. And we also have the best voices today. I am so grateful for the sounds of joy. Our musical inspiration led by our own Deborah Tisdale. Vocals from Cassandra Arnold, Martha Mangle, Terry Stanley, with Aquila Black Woman on bass, on Martin Trousseau on drums, and Andrew Jameson on piano. This is the sounds of joy.
So all that you are not or don't intend to be is falling away from you. Okay? Let us claim that.
I felt I couldn't go on. The guilt, the shame, and all the things that held me down are falling away from me. They're all falling away from me. I'm rising up.
Rise up.
It's all falling away, away from me.
Away from me.
Heavenly Spirit, there is something I want to say to you. Words can't contain it, but I'll do the best that I can do.
Ooh.
You lift me up like the vastness of the ocean, and you heal my heart, and I'm filled with such devotion. All of the ways I walked in pain, the times I couldn't go on, the guilt, the shame, and all the things that held me down are falling away from me. They're all falling away from me. I'm rising up.
Rise up.
It's all falling away, away from me.
Away from me.
What I'm trying to say, Lord, is beyond imagination.
Ooh.
It's more than I prayed for, that such joy could fill my being.
Ooh.
You brought a blessing that I'm just beginning to see. I've got to rise on up and accept that I am free. All of the ways I walked in pain, the times I couldn't go on, the guilt, the shame, and all the things that held me down are falling away from me. They're all falling away from me.
from me.
Away 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 from me.
All of the ways I walked in pain, all the times I felt I couldn't go on, the guilt, the shame, and all the things that held me down are falling away from me. They're all falling away from me. I'm rising now.
Rise up.
It's all falling away, away from me.
Away from me.
Away from me.
Away from me. Reverend Terry. Okay. We're trying. So, regardless of what you're going through, what's your name? Victory. Victory. All right. I've got evidence, I've got confidence, I'm a conqueror, I know that I win, I know
Come on. Tell them. They're not ready. You better tell them one more time. I think you need to hear it one more. What is your name?
Victory.
Come on.
1, 2, 3, 4. I know identity. My name is Victory. I know my identity. I know victory. I know my identity. I know victory. I know identity. My name is Victory. Victory. That's my name. Victory. I know who I am. Victory. That's my name. Victory. I know who I am. I know who I am. Do you know? I know. I know who I
Good morning, East Bay Church. My name is Victory. It's also known as Reverend Dereca Blackman, she, they pronouns, senior minister of East Bay Church, irreverent reverend, and some more things. Oh, I am so excited today. Can we just love on sounds of joy? I mean, we are not playing in here today. That is Deborah Tisdale, Cassandra Arnold, Martha Mangle. What about Terry Stanley? Come on, Aquila Black Woman, Andrew Jameson, and Martin Trousseau. Sounds of joy. Now, speaking of Terry Stanley, I want to remind you that today is Teen Church Sunday. And so if you have teens here who would be willing, not always ready, but willing, to just go ahead in there, one of the things we hear from our young people is that it's hard to be the only one in there. So we also have in our midst today several young people who grew up in this church. Can I get you to stand up right quick? If you ever went to teen church, I see you. Don't act like I didn't see you when you came in. I remember when you Sunday meant that Terry Stanley was preaching. He did the whole talk. He sure did, and tore it up, I might add. So since y'all stood up, I want to remind you that we need teachers for teen church and youth and family ministry. I mean, we call this Pay It Forward. So just one Sunday a month. If we had all of the folks who grew up in this church here for one Sunday a month, I think we'd have everything that we need. And that's what I know. That's what we teach. We have everything that we need. And so sometimes you just got to speak your word and call it forth. It's good to see you all. I know as young adults, you also need support. So I'm not saying you got to go back there every Sunday. I'm just saying we need you, and we're glad you're here. Oh, my goodness, it's hot up here. And it's not just because it's hot outside. It's hot because, I mean, they set it on fire up here before I even got on the stage. I mean, I got to be the old pastor with the handkerchief today. And I hear tell it's also the Battle of the Bay. So they told me not to expect a whole lot of people at church, and they told me I need to get you out of here on time because it's the Raiders and the Niners, and it's going on. So I want to respect y'all football needs. Some people are like, today TV is recorded. I appreciate that, and you know, I also want to honor all the people in service today, from the parking lot. I see Gloria and Richard there ushering. Robert Quintana Hopkins stepped in to be our not a puppet assistant, we get into her in a second, to hold the consciousness. JJ and Brett back in the booth. There's so many people that make this service possible, but I want to take a moment today to shout out someone really special. Thank you so much. Oh, it was one already up here. Richard said, let me help her. Okay, here we go. I'm having a personal summer for those of you. For those of you women of a certain age, you know, they try to keep us quiet like we're not supposed to talk about the M word. Look at all the fans going. It's called menopause. We can say it. It's okay to say it. It's a beautiful transition time, and we earn our elderhood, and we're just going to celebrate it even as we fan. So that's what we're doing in here today. But I wanted to celebrate someone special who is not in the sanctuary because she is always working. The Reverend Ona Afre. Now that I am actually working here, you know, y'all make sure I'm working. I get to see all that goes on behind the scenes. And Reverend Ona is always here, like future Reverend Arlene. And she is here doing whatever is needed. And I mean from serving food to moving furniture. I have to stop Reverend Ona from moving furniture. I mean moving all the furniture. And if I say anything, like, you know, I usually go in the back to prep. I like a little private space. I turn around and it's a whole setup back there. It's Science of Mind books and Post-its and mirrors. And I'm like, you know, and she's worried, don't want to have you over here because you might have this happen. And at first I was a little uncomfortable. Some of us get uncomfortable when people offer us support. And I was like, oh, Reverend Ona, you don't have to do that. Reverend Ona, I'm going to get somebody else to help you with the furniture. Where's everybody to help Reverend Ona with the furniture? I had a whole lot to say. And she said to me, can you just let you be our senior minister? I was like, okay. But I mean, I want to talk a little bit about that today, about overthinking. Yes. Because from Aretha to Emma Curtis Hopkins, we've been told a lot about thinking. You better think and grow rich. As a man thinking, scientific mental practice. And of course, this philosophy is the science of the mind. And so there's a lot of emphasis on our thought and the creative power of our thought. And that is true. Some of us, when we have overthinking and we're feeling that, we decide to numb out. This flood of information that we are sometimes drowning ourselves in. It's a nonstop television, social media, video. It's constantly coming in, not always in a selective way. It's just somebody sent us something, something popped up. Something popped up. Something just popped up. And we take it in. Whatever the news says we should be afraid of, that's what we're afraid of. We just take it in over and over and over again. And it stops us from feeling and being present in our lives. Because a lot of times there's hurt, there's challenge, there's fear that we're seeking to avoid. And we let all this information drown us out. Some of us act out. Oh, it got real quiet. I mean, there wasn't a sound in the room. You could have heard a pin drop. And we have an addiction to excitement, also known as drama. I'm just going to take a little moment to say to us, not just you, that if you have drama, wherever you go, there you are. If it keeps happening to you, you might want to take a look at your part in that, because it's not always them. We did relationships this week in our Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life class, and several people had the aha moment that their frame in life and relationships is what the other person did or needs to do. I mean, I know none of us are thinking about changing someone else or silently thinking about what they need to do to change. But there's a lot of energy that goes into that, and we can act out because it's a distraction, again, from what's going on inside us. Because relationships are mirrors. Uh-oh. Your children come to show you who you are. I tell you all the time, if you follow them home, the stork does not answer the door. They came from somewhere. And I'm not saying they're not influenced by the society. I'm just saying you might have had some part. You want to see who you are, go ahead and reproduce. I mean, that is what it is, right? We're reproducing. And then there's your partner that you're attracting. And then wondering why they act the way they do. I mean, you do have a choice. Most of the time, we haven't grown up in arranged marriages. I mean, there's some choice involved, yeah? So sometimes we act out. And other people, we just spin out. And when I say we spin out, we get stuck in our own mind, in the cycle of our own thinking. The thinking just seems like it won't ever stop. Here's the thought, and the next thought, and the criticism, and the next criticism, and the worry, and the next worry, and the fear, and the next fear. And you're just like, whoo! It's just spinning out inside. It's just going and going and going and going and going and going. And some of us, and notice I said us, our thinking is going so fast. And then our behavior mimics that kind of frenzy, right? So I want to talk to you. Okay, I got my books out of storage, so y'all about to get it. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot of reading. Oh, Lord, let's get the glasses. Where the glasses at? Uh-oh. Okay, we're going to just bless God with the eyesight today. Well, oh, here they are. Here they are. Okay. I got so caught up in Sounds of Joy, I left all my stuff on the side. Here we go. Okay. So this book is The Big Leap by by Gay Hendricks. It's one of my favorites. You'll hear me talk about it. Reverend Andrea introduced me to this. And what Gay Hendricks talks about is the upper limit problem. And this is the idea that as soon as things start getting good, we start sabotaging. Amen. If we start feeling too much love, we think we shouldn't feel that much love. If we start being too proud of some accomplishment, well, we shouldn't be bragging. That's called the crime of outshining, right? If we start feeling too hopeful about life, if we affirm and we think, then right comes in is a fear thought. Who am I to have that? What if it doesn't happen? We claim something and then we cancel it right out with different thinking. And here's what Gay Hendricks has to say about that. He says, worry and criticism are just ways of disrupting the flow of positive energy in life. I'm going to say that again. Worry and criticism are just ways of disrupting the flow of positive energy in life. And so we have a flow. We've been talking about it. We understand that God is an energy. And all of the things that we want to manifest, like love, like prosperity, like health, like peace, those are all energies. We're not talking about a God that is a person. We're talking about this flow, right? And I've said, Reverend E told me, just keep your pipe unclogged. If we can just have the flow coming through us, then that's the peace that we're looking for. That's the prosperity that we're looking for. And not only do we clog up our pipe, I thought this was really fascinating. If we're in the grip of worrying while someone around us isn't, we seem to have an almost uncontrollable urge to criticize that person until he or she jumps into the stream of negativity with us. Uh-oh. You come home mad about something, and somebody just want to talk about their day or what was on TV or, what we're going to do tomorrow. And it's like, did you hear me? You're not even listening to me. My day is bad. And so we attack the people that are around us because our idea of empathy is that you get into the negativity boat with me. Some of us who have friends who are captains of ship negativity. And it's a culture, right? I mean, I'm not saying that it's wrong, because sometimes it can be a relief, but there is this sort of thing. I don't know about everybody, but I know I can pick up the phone and be like, girl, you know what happened? I can't believe them. And what would she say? Girl, I know, because guess what happened to me? The same thing, even worse. Something even worse happened to me. What? Ooh, that's bad. But not as bad as the last time when that happened to you. There is always a flow. But there is always a flow of positive energy available. Yes. And sometimes the upper limit problem means we get uncomfortable. Yes. We call it spiritual bypass if someone tells us the spiritual truth when we're having a bad day. It's like, well, God's going to work it out. I don't want to hear that right now. I believe in empathy and compassion and meeting someone where they are. I don't believe we should spiritual bypass everything that anyone is saying. Sometimes folks have hurt, real hurt. And being present with that hurt is important. But being stuck in that hurt is a different thing. Amen. That's a different thing. You have to have people around you who are elevating themselves and thereby showing you an example of what it looks like to let go or to strive to let go or to be willing to let go. That's the thing you're looking for, is a community of people who are going where you want to go. I mean, they don't have to be on the mountaintop and, perfect, because then they don't have to be here. I mean, we came in the body to work it out. So we can't judge ourselves for working it out, because that's what we came to do. And it's time to get past the upper limit problem. Ernest Holmes has something more to say about this. I got all my books. I don't even have half my books. Y'all just wait. Got the Bhagavad Gita, the Tao. We gonna go. It's about to get fun. Okay, but I just got 3 today. I said I'm not going to get you with all of them. And I love that Ernest Holmes draws so much from the Bible. Yes. I grew up in Unity, which is Christian New Thought, and I always joke that I grew up with the nice Jesus. The one that's meek like a lamb and loves the little children, is a friend of mine, and then I heard about this other guy, and I was like, who is that? Jesus don't hate nobody. Jesus loved everybody. I don't know where they found him, but I didn't see it in the book I read, but okay. Ernest Holmes said, "What a load we shall get off our minds when we learn that there is but one mind that carries every load." Is not this what Jesus meant when he said, "My yoke is easy and my burden is..." I see it's some Bible folks in here. Y'all grew up like I grew up. I mean, there were some things we had to leave. That's how we got here. But there were some things we need to take with us. Okay. He goes on to say, "It is almost startling how divine intelligence works for us to give us health and comfort." I want to talk to you about the flow now. The evidence that you already have in your own body. This is where the science comes from in the science of mind. Even in such simple instance as stepping from a warm room into cold winter air, if we had eyes to see it, we would witness a miracle of the one life at work for our comfort. The life immediately causes the circulatory system, the respiratory system, and the digestive system to go to work in such a way as to bring about an inner balance of temperature, to counteract the cold wind and keep the body free from pain and discomfort. Here's what I'm trying to tell you. It's not too complicated for God. All the systems in your life are working together for your good in an invisible way that you, guess what, don't have to control. It's built in, it's hardwired into who we are. God is showing up and showing out for you whether you know it or not. It's just happening. It's a flow. Your body says, "Oh, I'm cold," and then it heats up. Your body says, "Oh, I'm sick," and then it fights the infection. Your body is just doing it. Maybe we ought to try that. He goes on to say, this is so simple that we should ask ourselves. Here's the question. How is it and why is it that we have arrived at a place where we have stopped trusting in the divine architect who created the factory and who is capable of operating it so perfectly? It's about trust. Why have we stopped trusting? We understand that this power is a healing power. We understand that this power is love. We understand when we get up and sing that it matters what we call ourselves. That our name is victory means something. It's not just a song to clap along to. It's an acknowledgement that there is a union between us and God that is working together for our good. So how come we keep forgetting? This is what faith is about. And he talks about repentance. He said repentance means to think another way. It means a new birth in the mind of that life that comes fresh and new every moment of our existence. Every day is a fresh beginning. Every day is the world made new. This is what they call, when they name the Bible, the good news. You don't have to talk to me about the story of what happened before. I don't need to know. I mean, go ahead and get it out if you need to, but don't go on and on and on, because I'm going to interrupt you and say that doesn't matter. I don't need to know that and to pray for you, because what we're doing is planting a seed that will manifest itself in your tomorrow. I'm not interested in what happened before because it has no bearing on the power and flow that is available to you right now. Every moment made new. That's the promise. That's the reality. Your body is generating cells that remakes its whole self. The renewing of your mind is inevitable. And we're working so hard to make it happen when it's already happening. See, that's the spinning out, is the idea that you have to control. In the living of the science of mind, he says, my yoke is easy. It's from the Bible. My yoke is easy. What if we believe that? See, overthinking is the opposite of that. It's the idea that I have to control my thoughts in order to have good. But the problem with that kind of dominion is it's restrictive. It causes this tight clenching in your body that shows up as stress, that shows up as health challenges. Now, I want to be clear. I am not saying if you have a health challenge, it's because you did something wrong. I don't believe in that. I don't want us to get into that in this philosophy. What I am saying is negative energy has an impact on you. It has an impact on your relationships. It has an impact on what you attract. It has an impact on just how you live and whether you're available for the joy that is available for you. Amen. Whether you're available for the joy that is available for you. This is called grace. This is grace. God doesn't need your help. God doesn't need your help. God is working together for your good. And so really the thing to do with the overthinking is let it go. But I know that's not that easy, so I got another book for you. Okay. This is Mindful Loving by Dr. Henry Grayson. Now, this is one of my favorite stories, and I'm sure I've told it before, and let me just tell you, I'm going to tell it again, because this is one of my favorite stories. Dr. Henry Grayson was a consultant for a bunch of schools in Harlem, New York. And he came to a set of schools because they were having problems with disruptive behavior. And in the book, he tells the story of Stephanie, a 10-year-old girl in a school in Harlem who was considered disruptive. I'm telling you, Stephanie was kicking and biting teachers. Yeah, that kind of disruptive. I don't mean had an attitude. And so Dr. Grayson put into practice something called the Perceptual Shift Empowerment Program. Now, let me ask you, what do you think the teachers and administrators thought about Stephanie? She's kicking and biting. What do you think they thought? Send her home. What else? It's not going to work. This is the power of negative energy. Do you understand what I'm saying? They thought about Stephanie, send her to the principal. Send her home. It's not going to work. Oh, and she definitely can't go on a field trip. I mean, for the safety of the other children, you understand, right? So when Dr. Grayson came to the school, he didn't work with Stephanie. He never even met Stephanie. What he did was he worked with the teachers. He worked with the teachers, and this is what he said. He said he worked on shifting their perceptions to focus on the frightened little child inside her 10-year-old body. Because sometimes we forget that 10 years old is a child. Sometimes we forget that 14 years old is a child. Sometimes we forget that even in our 20s, we might need some help, even if we don't act like that. Some of us need some help all the way up into right now. I mean, I know I need help, and I ask for it. I'm not playing. I ask for help all the time. I have been a mentor since I was probably 19 years old, and I have always had a mentor. When Susan Taylor turned 75, I called her and I said, tell me the secret. What do I need to know between 50 and 75? Because I want to get there with the grace she got. You better have somebody in your life that you want to end up like. By seeing her fear, the adult helpers were able to let go of their own fears in dealing with such a difficult child. See, because that's what's going on. When you're trying to control somebody else, you're trying to deal with your own fear of how their behavior might impact you. That's what's really going on, because their issues is for them and God to work out. Your role there is to love. That's why this book is called Mindful Loving. It's a tough teaching, but it's good. As the teacher's false perceptions were healed, Stephanie healed. And as the result, the whole class began to heal. And I might offer that the whole school began to heal. And the teachers began to heal. And it rippled out to the change that we hope East Bay Church might be in the world. I need to tell you that Stephanie's first field trip was to Carnegie Hall. And a good time was had by all. So what happened here? The students went from viewing the kids and as needing to control and judge them to needing love and help. What if you pray for those that spitefully use you? I mean, does prayer work or doesn't it? I'm going to offer that sometimes it's not our first response when we encounter something we don't like, or someone we don't like, or a political party or candidate that we don't like. If you haven't prayed for the so-called enemy, you're not doing your work. Because here's what happens, even the idea of enemy is not hurting them. It's hurting you. Because you are what? Spinning out. All this information is telling you, be afraid, be afraid, be afraid. Fear is coming. The world is ending. They're about to take over. I love Reverend Deborah. She said, we are not electing God. We better get it straight. We are the ones that are supposed to know. Let somebody else go off and get in the negative energy boat, get in the fear boat. We are the ones that are supposed to know that everything and everyone is God. Now, that's a hard teaching, but it's the truth. And I'm telling you because I want us to be liberated. Because in order to do the work we came to do in the world, we have to liberate our minds. We just can't be stuck in the negative energy thinking. We can't be stuck in the upper limit problem that says there's only so far this stuff works. It's not going to work on insert thing here. It's not going to change that person. It's not going to help me get a job if I don't have the right requirements and education. It's not going to pay these bills. It's not going to get me a house. It's not going to get me out of debt. It's not. Well, what is it going to do then? Why even have it? I mean, the music sounds good. We could, I guess, call it a concert. But if we're not going to use this stuff on the stuff that hurts, then it is for nothing. If it's just going to be like, oh, I love God, that's great. But it's got to change your life. And we're in the Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life class. You know, people keep telling me what can't happen. Everybody's in the class is laughing. Well, I have a certain age, or I didn't do the reading last night. I asked you, what qualities of God are you? You don't have to read nothing, know nothing. That's just a simple question. And this is how I got to be who I am, is working in the youth church. Because the teens don't care, did y'all? They're like, I don't understand that. What does that even mean? If you have to break it down to the very last compound, you understand what it means. So this is all well and good if we're talking about negative thinking. But even if we eliminate that, the universe abhors a vacuum. So you can take all of that out, but you have to replace it with something. You know, we used to have the anti-drug movement used to be called Just Say No. Doesn't work. Nancy Reagan, rest in peace. Doesn't work. Because you have to have something to say yes to. So right here is a basket that was given to me by the practitioner corps. And what they did was give me some rocks. And they wrote words on each of them to just remind me. See, this is the foundation. Do you understand? We have to build a different foundation, a different place where we come from. We have to have new ideas that we are planting like seeds, that we are building our foundation on. So here, let's just pick a couple. Willingness. Well, we can stop right there. Even if you're not willing, 12-step program said just be willing to be willing. Imagine, Spirit will meet you right there. Let's see what else we got here. Balance. Sometimes people ask me, well, what if I can't stop overthinking? Or what if I don't think enough? All of this stuff is different. There are some of us who need to stop and think about our behavior instead of always focusing on someone else. And then there are some, okay, y'all know who I'm talking to. Okay, and there are some of us that need to stop thinking so much. Almost every time we come in here, I ask you to breathe. Okay, so let's do that now. But before we do that, I just want to ask you, what is your resistance? What is your resistance to taking a breath? What makes you say, I'm not going to do that, or I'm going to just take it real shallow? What is that? The breath is your prana, it's your energy, it's your life force. This is the simplest place that you can meet divine spirit and energy, right here. So whatever is in the way of you taking this breath we're about to take, don't judge it. It's okay, you might not be there today, but it's an invitation that this is the simplest meditation you will ever do. So if you're ready, close your eyes. And just feel your heart is already beating. I don't have to tell you to take a breath because you're already doing it. All we're really talking about is being intentional about acknowledging and honoring what God is doing for us. So if you're willing, just breathe it in. And then let go of everything that doesn't serve you. Just breathe in this willingness and let go of the fear. One more time, just breathe in the balance and breathe out the spinning out. And that practice right there is the how. It's not that complicated. When the fear comes, when the tremor comes, when the worry comes, when the anxiety comes, your breath is right there. I don't have to give you that. It's right there. Try it and see. Try it and see if it helps in those moments when you're spinning out, when you're acting out, when you're checking out. Just see if taking a second to check in with you are the only person that matters. Everything else is what you're attracting. You're the only person that matters. I know that's not what people told you. That's not how you were raised. That's not what the society says about taking care of yourself and taking care of your family. You got to do, and that's what makes you good. Wrong. You got to be. That's what makes you strong. That's what makes you balanced. And just be willing. We got listen and sound and love, my favorite. But the love is inside you. It's not coming from somewhere else. It's not coming because your parents changed, Lord. That's not how it's coming. It's coming because you go within. So we can, and then sometimes, frequently, when you go within, the inner critic starts to speak up. Anybody got an inner critic? So what do we usually do with the inner critic? We give it too much space, but what else do we do? We fight. I mean, I don't know what y'all do, but I know what I do. Cancel. That's not true. Stop it. You sound like Somebody in my family whose name I won't say. What if, where's my rock? We gave our inner critic some love. Uh-oh. I mean, we're talking about radical forgiveness and radical love in this philosophy. What if, I just asked you to give love to the other political party, so you might want to try giving some love to that part of yourself that is actually trying to protect you. The inner critic is afraid and is like, okay, I don't know if you're going to be able to get this job if you don't do extra. Okay, I don't know if that partner you want is going to like you unless you put on all your makeup. You got to lose some weight before you can find, you got to gain some weight before. We come up with all manner of things. And then when that voice comes, we fight, we freeze, we flee. But what if we use the prospering power of love to just notice? Okay, I see you, inner critic. Thank you. I'm good. My name is actually Victory. So we breathe in and we go back to trusting that divine architect within us that's perfecting everything without us having to control it like the teachers are trying to control Stephanie. Because the control is coming from fear. The release, the surrender is coming from faith. So we just check out the critic and we know the critic has no power over us. So we hear that voice and we go, okay, thank you. I appreciate that. I see what you're trying to do there, and my name is Victory. We build a basket of new ideas. That you should have affirmations all over your house. And if something keeps popping up on your feed that is negative, you need to look at some different things. I want something to pop up on your feed or on your television that is edifying. It ought to pop up. Because that's how the algorithm works, is if you look at things of lovely and good report, then more things lovely and good report. But if you look at how many different ways they're going to talk about that chair and that riverboat, some of y'all know that we had a whole fight that I didn't know anything about, but at least 12 people have made me look at it. Look, there were some people fighting, and then what happened? And then they swam, and they hit somebody with the chair, and they got about 20 memes with the chair, and all of that. And it's funny, but how much time? How much energy? Right? That's the thing. So we breathe. We greet the inner critic with love. We plant ourselves a whole seed, a whole garden, a whole foundation, a whole basket of new identities, new ideas. But most of all, we pray. We pray. They call it push. Pray until something happens. That's how long we pray. We pray until something happens. And when we don't believe that that good is coming to us, we get somebody to pray with us. Where are my practitioners at? Do I have a couple practitioners who will stay after service? We'll bring the prayer box and we'll have the practitioners come on up. Do I have a couple practitioners who will stay after service? Come on up front. I want people to see who you are. There is no reason for you to walk out of this place with anything that no longer serves you. A practitioner is the presence of truth. They will know the truth for you about your situation. If you're feeling like you are numbing out or acting out or spinning out, this is the way out. Have someone else know the truth for you. Are we ready to get out of overthinking? I don't know. We might want to hold on to it. Are we ready to get out of overthinking? All right, there we go. Then let us pray. Let us pray. I'm going to invite you to go within and just be in the presence of the Most High. Be in the presence of the divine energy. Just be in the presence of the good that we call God, Allah, Yahweh, whatever you call on it right now. Not later, not in the midnight hour. Call on it in this creative moment. Bring it to mind, bring it to attention. Breathe it in, it's right here. Your idea of God is right here inside. And so I know that that divine idea is what made us. I know that that is the architect of every single true thing about us. I don't care the story or the facts. I know what God is, and God is each and every person in this room, in the sound of my voice, whenever, wherever. It is responding to every single prayer in this prayer box, and God always says yes. There is an affirmation that is meeting your question, and the affirmation is yes. I am willing to change your entire life. Just let me. Just let me. Just call upon me now. And so I just declare that everything is already handled. That if there is something in your life, a health thing, a finance thing, a relationship thing, something with your child, something with your mama, it doesn't matter what it is. If your willingness is to put love on it, to get help with it, to see it differently, to build a new idea, to surrender to the divine architect, to just take a breath, to be thankful. I am so thankful that this teaching works, that this teaching transforms lives, that this teaching is no respecter of persons and personalities. It doesn't care about the story or the conditions. This teaching is liberation. I'm so grateful that I know the truth, that I can stand here and say with full certainty and conviction that my life has been changed. I'm so grateful that I can offer this testimony, and so many of us in this faith can. I'm so grateful that I woke up this morning. I'm so grateful for this church. I'm so grateful for these practitioners. I'm so grateful for this philosophy. And I'm so grateful that the way forward is so clear, so simple. Not always easy, but it's simple. It's as simple as letting go of the thing that no longer serves. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to put this whole word, this whole prayer, all of these prayer requests, the prayer requests that are on your heart, the one that you're going to walk up to one of these practitioners and say, I'm ready, I'm willing to let it go. And all that's going to happen is you're going to touch and agree to give it to God. And so that's what I do right now. I just let it go. And I know that grace means I don't have to figure it out. I don't have to think and think and think about it. I can trust in that which has created every single one of us. And I just invite you to join me in this trust, in this faith by saying, Ashe. Ashe. Amen. Amen. And so it is. And so it is. These are the practitioners. Take a look. Make sure that if you have a prayer request, you find one of them, because they're available. Thank you so much for our practitioners, and thank you for you, East Bay. So this is the time we want to acknowledge you. If you are here for the very first time, we have some love to give you. We're not going to make you talk, but if you would just stand and remain standing, we have some love to give you. All right. Yes. East Bay, do what you do. Do what you do. Stretch your hands out. Make sure that every person is being fully seen. And this is what we say to you. Now go ahead, stand up and make sure there's somebody in the back. She got to get some love. Everybody got to get some. Welcome to the East Bay Church. Welcome to the East Bay Church. We thank God for you. We thank God for you. We see God in you. We see God in you. We make a place for you. We make a place for you. You are always welcome here. You are always welcome here. And so it is. And so it is. All right. I'm in the old church today. Got the whole fan going. Okay, now's our time for gracious giving. Can I get a hand clap for gracious giving? I'm telling you, I'm in the old church today. We had a hand clap, and then he asked for a hand clap. I just want to tell you something because, you know, I'm very transparent. I've been here for 6 or 7 weeks now, and I got a place, which I'm super happy about, that I love. I'm renting, which, you know, people keep telling me is a no-no. You need to buy. But one of the things that I recognize pretty clearly is that the prosperity of a church is completely dependent on the generosity of its membership. The preachers get a lot of bad rap for asking for money. And I might have been one of them judging, you know, you got the building fund and the youth fund and the pastor need a new car. I mean, I don't know what all the things are, but here's what I can tell you for sure. It's all on you. Whatever we're going to have for youth and family, however we're going to fix up the building, whatever you see in here that you wish was different, it's either your time, your tithe, your talent, you know somebody that can help out. We still in here, Arlene and Ona and I, emptying the wastebaskets. Ona is moving the furniture during the week. A lot of people are asking how they can help. But there's a lot of things. At the community conversation at the end of this month, I'm going to lay out all the volunteer opportunities. So I hope you get ready. By the end of this month, we're going to have it all laid out for you. There's lots of things to do. Money is energy. So don't get caught up in that part. If you have it, which you do, you do. It's energy. And if you don't have the evidence of it, go ahead and wait. Use these thoughts. Use this teaching. Put whatever you think you can give and watch that flow. And I tell you all the time, I don't care where you give, just give somewhere. Because you got to open your hands. What do they say? Scared money don't make none. Okay, I sound like James Glenn now. Okay, come on, y'all bring the basket. Give me the offertory statement before I get into the whole thing. I'm about to preach some Reverend Ike today. As I told you I'm from the old school. Let's say the offertory statement together. As I give thanks for the good now flowing into my life, I gladly share that good with others. The more I give, the more I receive. And so it is. Now we got a whole bunch of ways you can give. You can scan the QR code. You can still put it in the mail. You can text. You can Zelle. There's a whole kiosk in the back where you can give. And I really want to acknowledge and say thank you to our auto tithers. When we talk about the foundation of this church, it's the people who we know we can count on every month. That's how we build our budget. Is we say, okay, we know these folks are going to give every month. So if you're able to make that kind of commitment, we appreciate it. We also could use some support for our online community. I want to thank the folks who are out there, who are always doing something. Mark Yarborough is always online. And you know, many of you show up in the service and you tell me, I never came to the church before, but I always watched it online. So I'm really getting ready to reach out, and I want you to reach out so that we can build community wherever people are. We appreciate you being a part of this service. So I think... Where's Reverend Ona? Reverend Ona is always on time. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, boom, appears on it. Can we give it up for Reverend Ona? We've been trying something new to start the service out on high energy. And I said to Reverend Ona, we're going to pray right after, you know, the best is yet to come, the high energy. And she was like, okay. But Reverend Ona, you know, she can be kind of chill. But she get into that fire, and I'm like, when you going to preach a whole service? See, that face right there. I'm praying for you. Okay. Reverend Ona, I pray. Thank you, East Bay.
So right here and right now, let us just breathe in and breathe out, knowing that right here, we're in the flow of God. Each and every contribution, each and every donation, each and every blessing that comes to our church multiplies. It goes back out into this community and out to every corner of this city. And for that, I am just grateful. I know that what we give, we receive. And so I know that we are in the flow of receiving and receiving big things. And for that, I am grateful as I just release and let this be so. And so it is. Thank you. And so now we have a few community opportunities, which are announcements. And our own senior minister will be in the back of the sanctuary after service for you to greet her. After this service, as Reverend Dereca mentioned, we will have prayer available. And so if you have a prayer on your heart, then definitely don't leave this space with it still on your heart. Speak to one of our practitioners, speak to one of our ministers. You are not alone in this community, and we are available and waiting to speak to you. And so we also have that online. So if you are virtual and joining with us online, please click on the link in the chat, and you will be able to go to one of our virtual prayer rooms. Today, we are giving out back-to-school supplies, and so we are blessing our children and the friends of our children and people in the community with backpacks and binders and notebooks and everything else. And so right after service, all you have to do is go back to the fellowship hall, which is straight down the hall and to the left, and you'll be able to grab those things as well. On Monday, we have our own Dr. Cynthia Chang, who is going to host our Visioning Circle. This is a circle that she hosts every Monday, second, no, how am I saying this? We'll be hosting every second Monday of the month. And so this starts at 6:30, and this is a time to just vision. If you've never visioned before, this is a time to take a moment to decide what you want out of life and allow Spirit to speak to you and show you how to get there. And so that is going to be this Monday at 6:30 p.m., and this is going to be on Zoom. On Wednesday, we have our own Faces of the East Bay, which is our community partner, and we are going to host the open pantry. This pantry starts at 10:30. And so for those who have been shopping, you go to the grocery store, you know that food is high right now, has the appearance of being high, in cost. And so this is an opportunity to come to the church, your church home, and get vegetables and meat and staples. And we have people who are ready, on Wednesday morning. So please come at 10:30 or before for that offering. And because we love East Bay so much, we also have a pantry that happens every third Sunday, which is also next Sunday, where right after church, all you have to do is go into the kitchen and grab those same bags of fruit, vegetables, and meat and take those home or take those to somebody that you know who is in need of food. Thank you. This Wednesday evening, we have our own Helen Anderson Emeritus, who will be hosting the Power Hour. She is a strong practitioner and has been here since the beginning of time of East Bay Church of Religious Science. And so come out and listen to her words of wisdom, or words of spirit, and her words of just comfort as she does our Power Hour. This Power Hour is also on Zoom, and it starts at 6:15 with meditation, and then right into the talk at 6:30. You can go right to our website at www.ebcrs.org and click on the link, and it'll take you right to the service. Our youth and family ministry is open. Our youth and family ministry is open. Yes. And so every second and third Sunday, we have teachers here to be there with your young people. On the second Sunday, which is today, we have our teen church, and that is in the prayer room. And on our third Sunday, we have the little ones. We have anyone from 1 year old to 12 years old. And they divide them up into little groups. And so if you have questions about our youth and family ministry, or would like to be a part of it, would like to be a teacher, would like to donate, whatever you want to do, then contact us. You can contact us at youthandfamily@ebcrs.org. Come and be a part of raising these little ones up in our own community. On August 27th, we are having another community conversation, just like our own senior minister promised. This will be every month at the end of the month, and this one is going to be on Zoom from 1 to 3. So this is an opportunity for you to get updates about our service, our church, put your input in, and also become part of our volunteer ministry. And so definitely join us on Sunday, August 27th, on Zoom from 1 to 3. And if you have not done so, please, please, please go into our bookstore. The bookstore is right off the door. If you are coming in late, this is my offering, if you're coming in late for meditation, as an alternative, you can go into the bookstore and look at all of the books that we have. We have a wide selection, and we also have a lot of used, high-quality books for you as well. And so definitely take an opportunity to see what we have to offer. And so that concludes our announcements and opportunities for today. Again, we are grateful to have you here. And in this moment, I'm sorry, I'm looking at our senior minister to see if she's okay. In this moment, let us just go within. Let us remember each and everything that has happened during this service, starting with our intention, our meditation, to stop, to breathe, and to give thanks. Going into our music, that we are victory, and everything that we want, that we desire, we have. We have access to it. And if you have an issue or have a block with doing that, then definitely go into prayer and grab one of our prayer partners, our prayer warriors, to coach you through that. So as we leave this place, know that you are leaving guided, guarded, and always in the perfect embrace of God from this Sunday to the next and every moment in between. And for that, let us all just give thanks as we are just grateful and release these words saying, "And so it is." And so now I believe we have a song. We have a song from the Sounds of Joy as they take us out.
Here we go. Okay. As you leave the service today, be reminded that the best is yet to come. It may be about the football game. It may be about dinner later on. It may be about anything. But it's coming. So we're going to reprise this. So are we ready? Where are we starting? Start from top. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2. Hold on, my sister, just look up. There is a master plan in store for you if you can make it through. God's gonna really blow your mind. God's gonna make it worth your time. For all of the trouble you've been through, the blessings double just for you. The best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. Hold on, my brother, don't give up. Hold on, my sister, just look up. There is a master plan in store for you if you just make it through. God's really blow your mind. God's gonna make it worth your time. For all of the troubles you've been through, the blessing double just for you. The best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. Today is the first day of the best days of your life. Today is the first day of the best days of your life. Today is the first day of the best days of your life. The best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. Yeah. Woo. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet. Thank you. Enjoy your day.